Alright, welcome back everybody to some, pressing the wrong buttons already. Yeah, some Torment.
Done.
Trying to remember what buttons do what now. I'm so used to doing stuff, sorry about this. I'm so used to doing, blast. I need to stop doing it. I've gotten used to playing Warhammer Total War, and so I'm kind of using WASD to try and move around and do stuff. Anyway, here we are, Nameless One and Mort. I believe I can talk to all these guys, and they may potentially have dialogue for me. You see a pale-faced dustman standing guard over the front gate. He is staring off across the city rooftops with a distant expression. As you approach, he turns to face you. Yes? I had some questions. He nods and waits. I'm looking for someone named Farrod. Do you know where he might be found?
Updated my journal.
Farrod is a collector. The man studies you for a moment. If you'd wish to know more of him, I am told that Initiate Emmerich in the Gathering Dust Bar also seeks him. It may be that he can help you. Where is the Gathering Dust Bar? As one leaves the mortuary front gate, head south and west. It lies past the memorial. Very well, I'll seek it out then.
Done.
And this here is the gate. Pox is a guy who can actually get you back inside if you need to go. And this over here is the memorial, I believe. Vines with black leaves. The stems look extremely sharp. This dustman is dressed in long dark robes and her hands are folded into her sleeves. Her head is bowed and she is chanting in a measured pace with other dustmen around her. Greetings! The dustman appears to have heard you, but she does not look up. Listen to the chanting. All dustmen carry on the exact same tone and rhythm. The chant rises to a near shout every few minutes, then slowly fades into a way that reminds you of an echo. Once it fades completely, the dustmen speak several lines praising the true death, then begin their chant again. Can I speak with you a moment? No. Dustman lifts her head. She does not stop her chanting, keeping the same pace. What are you doing? Dustman ignores you, said, lowering her head.
I'm gone.
Nothing to get off him. Right, so in we come to here. And we have Quentin in here. The man before you looks to be the middle of height and years. He is stout with thick bullish neck and his shoulders are hunched as if a great weight is pressing down on them. He wears an impatient look as he stares at the black monolith in front of him. Greetings! The man throws you a glance. There's room, Cutter. No need to ask my leave to stand here. Actually, I want to know what this monolith is all about. It's a tombstone for the plains, he scoffs. Graveyards with names are scratched on that rock. Can only hope my name's the one that will split the stone in twain. He points to the base of the monolith. Quentin, right here. Hammered in just hard enough to send the damn thing crashing down. What are you talking about when you're talking about a tombstone for the plains? Aye, Quentin smiles ruefully. The Dusties scratched the names of the dead onto this monument here. He gestures around him. And on the walls of this place. Not nearly enough space by my reckoning, but no matter, they do their best. You can barely read half the names. And what exactly are you doing here? Reading the new arrivals. Try to find a new one every day. Try to remember if I knew them. Nothing more. So they record everyone who's died on this monument. I scratch them on this rock and scratch them on the walls in this place too. I don't know why they take trouble to do the counting of the dead. Dusties have more care for the living. What do you mean? You know about dustmen mourners that come to this place. They aren't mourning the dead, you see. They're mourning the living. You can barely get a word in with the Medjways without asking to mourn some poor living Burke for you. And why exactly do they mourn the living? Got me there, Cutter. Might want to put the question to them. Seems to me the dead are thrice worth the pity of any poor sod living in this pit. He nods at the monument. Every name on there is blessed, in my book it is. Ever know anybody who came back once the name was put on there? You mean come back from death? Quentin shakes his head. Not a one, Cutter. Everything that lives dies, and that's the way of things. Still, considering planes are gone forever and all, I suppose anything's possible. Well, alright, thanks for your time.
Done.
Over here we have sev'tai. This woman's face looks broken and she's covered in scars that look like bite marks and fingernail cuts. She's cradling the shreds of several rags in her hands and staring empty at the wall and the monument, and no names there. Greetings! Get your back! The woman's teeth peel back, displaying a row of black keen eyes. What do you want of sev'tai? Well, what's the matter first? What wrong? Those chaos men wrecked my cart, attacked me, killed 3 of my sisters, and tried to stop them. You should try to stop them. Not sisters anymore. Now there's nothing but names on this memorial wall. Chaos men? Chaos men, a faction, they says. What they are is an adult bunch that runs wild through the hive and does whatever they please. We never did no harm to them, and they lope in like dogs and tear apart anything within their reach. And who are the chaos men who attacked you? They're a hiver gang, a bunch of adult sods that call themselves the starved dogs barking or some such balmy nonsense. Their actions are unjust. If you wish, I can see that the matter is rectified. If 3 deaths they caused, then 3 deaths shall these starved dogs suffer. A copper earring in your purse if you pen 3 of those murdering sods in the dead book, Jig. I'll see to it they're put in the dead book. Can you tell me where they might be found? Go out the south gate, spyward from here, then walk around the block until you come to the place where men run in circles, howling at the big sky. There's the starved dogs they are. I'll go look for them then. So, south gate. So it's south gate spyward, so that's just saying kind of in the general direction of the sphere, not sphere, the ring. Then walk around the block until he comes to a place where men run in circles.
Updated my journal.
The obsidian wall has thousands of names carved in it. The obsidian monument has names carved in it. You see a dustman with a crooked smile frozen on his face. Despite the smile, his eyes are dull as stones. His right arm is shorter than the left, and he keeps it tucked into his side as if cradling a small child. Greetings! Dustman's eyes slide over you. Name! The way he speaks the word, it sounds like the tolling of a bell. I don't know. No name, can't help you. Dustman speaks in a curious sing-song voice. I can't do a sing-song voice. Need to give a name if you want to see where it died. What?
Updated my journal.
Given a name when you're born, give it back when you need it no more. Death of names, death of names. His eyes swim across the monolith and the walls of the area. Buried many names here, death of names has. Tell me a name, I'll show its grave. Dianara. His eyes roll to the back of his head and pop back. With a wild gleam, his eyes run across the walls of the monument, scanning the names at inhuman speed. He then points at a section of the wall. Buried. Examine the spot where he's pointing at. Chiseled into the black stone in tiny cramped writing is the name you requested. It's almost lost beneath the sea of names around it. I have another name. Ardhan? He shakes his head. Not dead yet, that name is. Not buried here. Not time. Not time. Very well. Thanks. Sorry to disturb you. So, I need to go south out of here, don't I? Because I need to go to the Gathering Dust Bar. Hive dwellers there.
Right.
It's down this way. Now, I can barely remember some of the stuff here. I don't really know where I'm supposed to be going. Bane the Sender. Does he have anything to do, or is he later? You see a heavy-set man with sharp features and a pained expression. Despite his huge frame, however, he has an effeminate look about him. And unlike the other residents you've seen, he looks to have bathed recently. As you approach, he looks up hopefully and calls out in a high voice. Craddock, good sir? What? His hopeful expression dies as he studies your face. 1,000 apologies, good sir, if I have given offence. Gives a slight bow. I'm called Bane the Sender, third child of Daybane the Sender, and I am one of many runners in the employ of the House of Senders. You haven't offended me yet. What exactly do you want? 1,000 apologies for troubling you with such a trivial matter, but I seek Craddock, an overseer in the hive. Bane looks like he is in pain, but alas, he eludes me. He looks at you hopefully again. Could it be you have heard of such a man? Sorry, no, I've just literally just come out of a morgue. I have no idea who anybody is. Bane gives a deep sigh. I am bound to deliver a message to him, and as yet, fortune has chosen not to favour me. I could help you. If I come across the man, I could pass along your message. Bane's face lights up like a lantern. Oh, fortunate day for Bane and the House of Senders. Any assistance you could provide would be most welcome. If you find this Craddock and pass on the message, I'll see to it you pay for your troubles. Okay, what's the message? Bane recites the message almost like a mantra. The shipment must be incursed by the 3rd day, or there will be a penalty. Bane frowns. I am told that Craddock will know the shipment to which the message pertains. If I see Craddock, I'll pass on the message. Anything you can tell me about him before I go might help me find him? He is said to be a giant of a man, stern of features, as he is an overseer of one of the hive marketplaces. Alas, I know little else than that. I see, that's good enough for now. Bane brows. Thank you, sir. Should fortune favour you and you're able to bear the message to Craddock, be so kind as to return and tell me of it. I'll see to it your efforts are rewarded.
Updated my journal. All right.
Yes, we have harlots.
I know dadders today said walking ones looks like.
She's a fun character. This is the bar, I believe. Gathering Dust Bar. Yep. It's further outside of the post. He's basically he's a zombie where people just nailed notices to. I can check him out later. In we go to the Gathering Dust Bar. There's a few people in here of interest. Mortai Gravesend, Seer the Skeptic. Copper Eyes was Copper Eyes. I think Copper Eyes is down here, I think. Norroch, something like that. Awaiting Death. Yeah, some of these guys are ridiculous. You can't actually go to war with this place, but some of these are ridiculously powerful characters.
Done.
Seer the Skeptic. As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. La, look who's come a-calling on Seer today, Death's dearest son. She looks you up and down and shakes her head in disbelief. By every power in its mother, boy, what crypt did you crawl out of? I'm fresh. Joke. Yeah. Well, the crypt was losing its charm, so now I'm looking around for the right place to die. Know anywhere? She barks a laugh that rattles her ears. Ha! Not here, unless you want to die of boredom. What's wrong with here? Someone pinch your sense and your sight, boy? She waves a hand around the bar. Look around. What do your eyes tell you? It's a Dustmen Bar. Very good, Seer chuckles dryly, though she doesn't seem to be laughing at you. At the risk of explaining myself, Dustmen are the dullest breed of dullards ever to nest in Sigil. Always speaking of death reverently, like it's some holy union that every creature in the multiverse should strive for. Cheh. But you're a Dustman. A Dustman? I suppose. Seer sniffs. Cheh. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. His body's almost ready to pay the ferryman. She chuckles, but there's not much mirth in it. Are you afraid of dying? Of course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except Dustmen. They're not afraid because they've been swallowing too much of their own backdroppings over the decades. They've blinded themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. Shit. So what sparked this crisis of faith you've got right here? She shrugs. Life, I suppose. It's, yeah. Nah, never you mind. I won't bore you with this niggling details. Well, I'd actually like to know. Oh, would you? She looks at you skeptically. Tch. How old do you take me for, boy? Not too old, I think. Let her down gently. Not too old. She snorts. Well, you're wrong. I'm really old. Now, I've spent most of my long years teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustmen whelps grow within our order, taught them the ways of the faction, and kept the faith preached to the tenets of the faction. She frowns. So on and so on. No questions, no doubt. Life was merely an antechamber that led to true death. And what happened? Well, half a month back I went sick with the fever, she sighs. Thought it was the end. It really rattled my cage. And how did it do it? Her face becomes a stone. There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. Oh, Sarah is so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. Burden of life? That's when it struck me. But there's something missing. A queer expression comes over her features. There's something addled about not appreciating your life. The Dustman keeps saying that life is misery and suffering. Is it? That we should be happy to pass on into oblivion. Should we? She shakes her head. Questions, questions, and precious few answers. It doesn't sound like you believe in the Dustman philosophy anymore. I suppose I've got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull, she rubs her temples. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers, and I ain't got them all worked out yet. So what are you going to do? To be square, boy, I don't know. Seer sighs. That's the problem with doubt. I can't even trust what I'm feeling is true, or even if I'm scared to death of only because my brush with the fever, or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. Seer, if you truly believe in the Dustman philosophy, then your brush with the fever would not have left you such doubts. Seer, I would treat this as a test of your belief. It sounds like these feelings are only temporary. I'm going to say that one. Seer stares at you and nods slowly. Maybe so, maybe so. She frowns, her face wrinkling out with concentration. I'll have to chew on it some more. You should, it's no small matter. Ah, now, enough of me rattling about my woes. Cher stares at your scars. You look like you shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your view somewhat? Doesn't it make you appreciate life a bit more? Well, my condition is unique. I woke up in the mortuary. I think they mistook me for a corpse and were prepared to bury me. The strange thing is, I think I actually had died and got better. Seer blinks. You're rattling my coffin. No, it's true. Strange are the ways of the plains, and I've seen too much to throw any tale out with a wash. She studies your face. If it's true, why does it happen? All I know is I woke up in the mortuary with no memory, covered with enough wounds to kill me 3 times over. Now, don't be saying that too loud, she glances around. Most peculiar. Never heard of anything like that. Share about the memories. Do you have any idea why this happens? Nay, not a one. Never knew anyone whose death wouldn't take, until now. Perhaps I could ask you some other questions. Questions, eh? Well, you can ask. Stare at you, some crypt caller. I'm searching for a man named Farad. Have you seen him? Seer's face crumbles into a frown. That dog. He's the worst of the collector lot. I heard his kip set up somewhere in Ragpicker Square, many streets west of the mortuary gate. Dangerous place though. Some of those collectors aren't patient enough to wait for folks to die so they can sell them for jink. Collectors? They're vermin that scavenge the bowels of the hive and bodies to sell to the dustmen. Make a living off the dead. A motley breed. It makes you ashamed to share the same city with them. She sighs. At least they keep the streets clean. Ah, thank you for your time.
Looks like my skills have increased.
Nicely done, Malt.
I'm gone.
Dustman. I think these are just general, yeah, just general dustman. Zombie worker, zombie worker. Zombie bodyguard. Now I think this is one Emmerich. I think I want to speak to. You see a heavy-set man with dark skin and green features. He is dressed in dustman robes and regarding with a stony gaze. Greetings! You have a look of one lost, the man's voice like stone settling. Did the wind send you, or are you here with a purpose? And who are you, sorry? I am Emmerich, Factorium and Initiate of the 4th Circle. Is this your bar? If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. He pauses as if trying to emphasize a point. The dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection. Can I ask you some questions? Emmerich waits. Can you tell me about the Dustman faction? Dustmen seek the true death. Some call it oblivion, but this is incorrect. To Dustmen, the true death is freedom from the chains of this false life. What's false life? This life that many cling to with their emotions is a false existence. As long as one clings to it, they will continually be reborn into it. One must divest themselves of emotion to escape this cycle. Can you tell me how your faction is organised? Dustmen are organised into 5 circles. The 5th circle is made of the lowest rank of dustmen, initiates. The 1st is comprised of the highest ranking dustman, the ruling body of our faction. I had some other questions if you mind. I've come here in search of a journal. These eyes have seen no journal. Perhaps your search will take you elsewhere. I'm looking for a man named Farod. Have you seen him? I would know why you seek the collective Farod. He stole something from me. Emmerich remains silent. His gaze is unnerving. He doesn't seem to blink. Why do you want to know my business with Farod? The collective Farod has brought many corpses to the mortuary of late. One must ask where these bodies are from. Tell me more about what's going on. Some are recent dead. They still have their last moments upon their eyes. Many more bodies are centuries old. The dust of ages lies upon their bones. One must ask where these bodies are from. Perhaps I can find out for you when I find him. How would you do such a thing? I could ask him. If you spoke with the collector Farod and returned with his answers, you will have done a great service for the dustmen. Find where the dead he brings us are from, and you will be rewarded. Very well, I'll find out where he's come and come back to you. Your path is our path. Return here when you the collector Farod answers. Do you know where he is? It is not known to me where the collector Farod is. He hides from the eyes of dustmen. I would seek other collectors and ask them. Thank you. I could speak to other people in here. One of the guys, is it old copyright? Multi-Gravesend. He asked if you want to actually sign the dead contract, which gets you like 30 copper. But the thing is, you can sign it and go, yeah, sure you can. You can have my body when I'm done with it. But you never actually are ever done with your body, so joke's on them. Right, now, I've been told that many places west of here is where Ragpicker Square is. However, I want to head down this way, because down here is where the starved dogs barking are. And let's just... let's center. Is it statistics screen? There we are. Just level up Mort. 10 hit points gained. 2 hit points gained from Constitution. Fighting skills have increased. No, I can't level up yet. Does it say how much I've got? Oh wow, I've got quite a lot to go before I level up. He's only level 3. He's only level 3. Little poor little Mort, only level 3. Right, let's go this way. Right, so let's head down here, because down here is another area that I am familiar with as being of interest. Ooh, Barad-dûr. If you don't know what a Barad-dûr is, again, it's kind of a speak. You've got some of these people who's like hive dweller. It's just like they are just hive dwellers. A Barad-dûr is basically what a centaur would be like if it was a goat and not a horse. There's some hive thugs. They'll probably come at me as I walk past.
Done.
Unless I keep my distance. No, at least I'll keep my distance and they're okay with me. He might be one I can chat to, although I don't know.
Done.
Oh, there's a collector here. Excuse me. This man draped in filthy tattered brown robes, a long hood concealing most of his face from view. Greetings! You see his eyes narrow beneath his hood and he takes a step back. What do you want? What's this place? He frowns at you. You're in the hive, of course. Dirtiest bit in all the sigil. Where you from, Cutter? You from the Prime or something? No. But I did have some questions for you, if it's alright. He raises an eyebrow. I have some for you then. Like, what did you want to know? How badly did you want to know it? I'm looking for a journal I've lost. Look around you, Cutter. I don't make enough jink to go lightening up the dark for nothing. It'll take a bit of coin, it will, if you wants the chant. Dump 10 coppers into his palms. I can spare 10. Ask your questions. I can't say as I can help, but I might. I'm looking for a journal. He shakes his head, puzzled. I'm also looking for a man named Farrod. He narrows his eyes suddenly. Farrod, what about him? Do you know where he is? I know where the rat bastard isn't. He ain't where most of the collectors call Kip in Ragpicker's Square. But he's close by there, somewhere's the chant. Do all collectors share your opinion of Farrod? Farrod? Heh. He spits, sneering contemptuously. Ragpicker's Square is Sharegrave's, my boss's territory. Farrod and one of his dogs came in whiles back and tried to oust us. We fought them off, we did, so's they're all hiding somewhere now. We still catch one of his lads now and then round the square. Usually we turn him into a quick spot of jink in the mortuary, the piking sods. Can you tell me about Sharegrave? He's my boss. Casts his shadow over the whole mess of collectors, he does. I stay away from him unless he got right good to cause a talk to the man. I've never spoken to him personally myself. What can you tell me about the collectors? We make our living by dragging deaders off Sigel's fair streets and hauling their lead-bottomed asses to the mortuary. Not the best way to earn your living, but it's a start. Is that all you wanted to know, Cutter? That's what I want to know, thank you. Well, keep yourself safe, Cutter. If I find you on the streets, I'll be kind to your corpse. Thank you.
I'm gone.
More hive thugs.
I'm gone.
Let's give him a wide berth for now. I think that's a July. Can I speak to July? I think I can. You see a thin man with stained clothes, a hooked nose, and two stubby horns jutting from his forehead. He's stumbling about and mutters to himself. He stinks of brine, vomit, and cheap wine. Greetings. The man squints blearily at you. What is it? What? Never mind. Sorry to bother you. Oh.
All right.
It's fighting time.
What's up?
More. Can you swear at some people, please? It works.
You see that?
Nice. Come back here, you bugger.
Sure, why not?
Head him off.
Damn it.
Nice.
Sure, why not?
Alright,
Okay.
now go raid their corpses.
Sure, why not?
A rusty dagger is probably not
Sure, why not?
worth anything. Another rusty dagger. What's popping here? Scratched above the doorway the words Smouldering Corpse Bar. there is the titular smouldering corpse.
I'm gone.
There's a few people in here you can chat
right.
to. These sturdy pylons support the ramshackle roof. Hello. You see someone dressed as a female dustman with a half-empty glass in her right hand. As you near her, she calls out to you. You! Over here! You notice there's something wrong about her. And your exposure to the dustman leaves you to believe she's just too lively to be a real member of the faction. Approach her. Hey, Cutter, buy a lady a drink? Who are you? Me? I'm Mochi. I just like to drink here, and I'm just a person, you know. Can you tell me about this place, Mochi? Smouldering Corpse Tavern. Can't you read? You more bubbled than I am. Forget it. I don't think you're actually a dustman, though, are you? She looks around nervously and seems to sober right up. Why'd you say that? Because you don't act like a dusty, and you're not offering contracts. In fact, you're taking money instead of giving it out for that corpse labour they do at the mortuary. She stifles a squeak of terror and hastens to explain. No, I'm not a dustman. I just found these robes in the street, and I didn't have enough money to get good clothes, and I just heard there was a dustman thief around, but you could probably find him somewhere else in the southwest part of the hive. I saw him, but I hid from him. Please don't hurt me. I'm not planning on it. You ought to know you're not pulling off too well, though. Can you tell me who that burning corpse is over there? He's not a corpse. He's some crazy wizard. Ask around. All right, thank you. There's a couple of patrons here that just chat to themselves. Seagull's just a big rat hive in the eyes of the plane. What do you mean? Do you think any of the powers really find this important? What's that got to do with Sigil? This is a place humans feel important or insignificant in the grand scheme. We're rats. No, you're a rat. The planes let you as big as you want. Obviously, you don't want to be. I don't know why I bothered talking to you. Neither do I.
I'm gone.
Tagarin and Aethelgrin, I believe, are a couple of abyssals that just hang around here. There's Mercy Killers. The metal table is scarred with talons, knives, teeth, and the marks of innumerable tavern brawls. Like the air around it, it's warm to the touch. Mercy Killers are one of the factions that exist in Sigil. I don't know much about them myself.
I'm gone.
Illquicks. He's a short, rotund man with a perplexed expression on his face. From lines of his loose skin, it looks like it's not too uncommon. He carries a flagon of ale that looks like it's in the process of being emptied rapidly. In between swallows, he speaks in a gentle voice, so quiet you can barely hear his words. Hello, traveller. My name is Illquicks. Can I be of some assistance to you? I'd like to ask some questions, please. What would you like to know, my friend? Who exactly are you? I am but a humble man with a slight flowery poetical bent and a tendency towards the supernatural. I regret I have none of my supplies here, or I'd be most eager to teach you the ways of power. Perhaps later, though. Yes, perhaps. What can you tell me of this place? This place, Smouldering Corpse Tavern? Fine establishment with a fine owner. Barkis is a true gentleman and ambitious to increase his standing in the boot. These, I feel, are the most useful qualities one can possess. And they drive people. Can you tell me about the people around here? Patrons of this tavern are many and varied. I've spoken with most and find them delightful, with the exception of those creatures of law. He gestures towards the pair of abeshi sitting in the corner. They taint the air with their presence, lending to an unwholesome stench to an otherwise pleasant environment. I recommend speaking to Barkis. I understand he requires some aid with a trifling matter. Then we have the O character. I'm still trying to understand him fully. It's quite the undertaking, if I say so myself. Those are the folk of interest here. The others, well, perhaps I'm a bit too discriminating. Why do you not like creatures of law? Ah, fine question, my friend. My upbringing has been on the chaotic side of the Great Ring. You may speak to Candrian Illborn, a misnomer if I've ever heard one, of the plains. He fancies himself a great planewalker. To return from my digression, I have lived in many years with chaos and find it pleasantly agreeable. To me, the taint of law, as in those creatures there, is reprehensible and tyrannical. If I am to be crushed underfoot, I'd rather it be by an individual rather than a machine that knows nothing of emotion. I very much agree with you there. Ilquick smiles toothily, his fat cheeks barely moving. To each his own, I say. Did you have more questions? No, that was it. Thank you very much. So I should speak to Barkis. Excuse me, Barkis. You see a leather-skinned man with a hint of ashen colour to his face. His teeth seem sharper than normal, and his eyes are filled with the boredom that comes with having seen too much. His voice is nasal and clipped. You again, eh? What do you want this time? What do you mean, you again? Yeah, you again. You got a hearing problem or something now? You were in this place about 15 years ago. All got bubbled up, smashed up the place, and left a pile of coin that wasn't enough to pay for the damages. So you plucked out your own bleeding eyeball and tells me you'll be back to reclaim it when you got 200 coins together. With 15 years of interest, you got about 500 coins. You got a jink, pal? I'll get your eye right here. I don't have that much, actually. Then you're not getting your eye back. Makes sense? Come talk to me when you got the jink. Very well. Can you answer some questions for me in the meantime? Who are you? Me? I'm Barkis, owner and keeper of this place. And what is this place? Do you see the sign out front? Do you see the Burke burning over the furnace when you came in? It's a smouldering corpse cutter. Best damn bub house in Sigil. At least it's the best damn bub house in this part of the hive, which makes it one of the best in Sigil. Hell, I've got fancy places with plants and such as the Ladies' Ward, and they've got them fiendish taverns sorted around the rest of the hive. None of them got the character a smouldering bar corpse has. Who is the smouldering corpse? Him? Ignis. Used to be a flame wizard, burned down pieces of the hive and got himself skagged by a bunch of other mages. You want to know more about him? Go talk to Drusilla down there by the door. Okay, can you answer something else? I'm looking for a journal. A journal? Paper and words? Friend, that sort of thing don't get much stock down here in the hive. Folks here can barely read the sign above the door, much less an entire journal. If you're looking for a journal, you do better to have a system instead of asking folks willy-nilly. Thanks for the unasked for advice. I'm looking for Farad. He turns and spits on the floor. Farad? Puh. You may as well just turn your back and let him sink a dagger into it. Though from the looks of you, you already have. If your head's set on finding Farad, pardon the pun, talk to Eb Creeknees over there. He should know something of value. Eb? The old man? Alright, thank you.
I'm gone.
This is Eb in the corner here with Candrian. Is it a Candrian or just Candrian? You see a soft-looking man with gentle, fast-staring eyes. He dresses in supple leather clothing and carries various implements of use and destruction about his body, such as ropes, spikes, tinderboxes, and empty vials of air. He looks half gone, literally. There's an insubstantiability to it. Insubstantiability. I can't believe it. There's an insubstantiality to his existence. As if his essence had been partially leaked away. He focuses his eyes on you, and suddenly you find him gripping and determined. Greetings to you, O Seeker. Greetings. He carefully sets down the mug he's holding and gives you all his attention. I have seen the far reaches of the multiverse and returned to tell the tale. I have walked upon the bodies of dead gods and spun moonbeams in the astral ahead of 1,000 shrieking Githyanki nights. I have passed the edges of existence and watched my essence shiver away before me. What is it I can do for you? Can I ask you some questions? Perhaps I have answers. Speak and I shall tell you. Who are you? I am Candrian Illborn, traveller, dreamer, tailspinner, and so forth. Can you tell me of the planes? I am tired, Seeker, so tired. I am fresh back from negation. I will answer what I can for you, but I cannot promise that you will find satisfaction in the answers I give. What would you like to know? Would you hear of the outer planes, prime material, the inner? What's the difference? The difference is true essence, Seeker. The inner planes are matter, substance, true physicality. They are the building blocks of the multiverse, for it is from them that all belief in the elements springs. The inner planes filter through the ethereal plane, the plane of potential, some say, which forms the elements into the worlds of mortals. Once past the ethereal plane, one reaches the prime material, where exist all manner of mortals and monsters and myths and machines. It is there that belief is born, and there that spirits that create the outer planes are born. When mortals die, they pass through the astral plane, and no place that is bought as is thought and mental energy itself. It is in all things and none. It is paradox, among other things, and it filters the spirits into the great ring. Do you comprehend so far? I'm not sure. Yes, I think so. Yes, go on. Now, the outer planes. Where should I start? Do you know the cardinal rules of the planes on which the others are based? Do you know about the composition of the outer planes? Do you know of the Great Ring and its divisions in our hearts? Do you know of the individual planes? Each of these leads to the next, and so it's best to start from the beginning. I know that you just said about the composition of the planes. Tell me about the Great Ring and its divisions. Among the loose unity of planeswalkers, we conceive of the infinite outer planes as a ring surrounding the plane of ultimate neutrality, the Outlands. The spire atop which Sigil sits is the centre of the Outlands. The further one travels away from the spire, the less neutral the plane grows until it spills out into the neighbouring planes. Each of these planes impinges on the Outlands, spinning themselves into law and chaos, good and evil. The Great Road marks a demarcation between the Outlands and the gate towns that spring up around the gates to these planes. Beyond the gate towns lie the hinterlands, uncharted territory that is lost to history, that loses thought. Danger lies in the hinterlands. Go on. The outer planes differ by morality, not substance. For you, we'll divide the planes into three sets. The upper planes of good, the lower planes of evil, and the boundary planes of neutrality. These are then divided further by law and chaos, with the Outlands in the middle. Which of these interest you the most? Let's have a look about the boundary planes. There are two boundary planes to my mind, and they are diametrically opposed. One of them, Mechanus, is the very essence of law, a place where beliefs fit together, interlocking, turning into a massive machine that is the entire plane. Some folks have it that the gears of Mechanus are the engine that drives the planes. The other plane is Limbo, a swirling morass of chaos that follows no rules, none. And just when a body thinks he's classified its behaviour, it goes and changes on him. Or it doesn't. You just can't tell. I was in Limbo not too long ago. Tell me of your journey. He closes his eyes, remembering. I had a Githzerai guide with me, an anarch who could shape the illogical matter of the plane into forms of his desire. We had fought off the harrying of the Slardy, the chaos creature that called that plane home. It seemed they were more than usual, but then one can never tell what's usual in Limbo. But I digress. In the midst of all this chaos, we came across a series of huge metal interlocking cubes, like some sort of puzzle box. It wasn't something we had shaped consciously or not, and we couldn't find a way inside. It was like a bastion of order within the confines of disorder, a seed of law. That is the best way I can explain it. Can you tell me more about the planes of the Great Ring?
My journal.
What can you tell me about the upper planes? Of the upper planes, there are neutral planes and the lawful planes and the Celtic planes. What would you like to know about? Neutral plane, please. The neutral upper planes contain the Beastlands, a place of neutrality and goodness with a slight tinge of chaos, where the animals rule in the eternal noon and night. They hold Bitopia, twin paradise of industry and labour, where all work towards the good of all, and Elysium, the sweetest plane of goodness and calm I've ever come across. Alas, right now I am not well enough to enjoy any of their restorative effects. What would you hear of now? Rest of the upper planes, please. The lawful planes. Camden gives a small shudder. I'm not the first person to speak to the planes of law, he says, for the innate structure and ultimate patterns they impose frighten me. I steer clear of them because I value my individuality more than I value the knowledge they'll bring me. They include regimented Arcadia, nearest of the good plains of the unbending order of Mechanus, and Mount Celestia, home of the Archons, an island in the Silver Sea. And the chaotic planes, please. These are where I feel at home, although I steer clear of Ysgard for the most part. The endless battle and tests of metal among the floating earthbergs of the plain don't do much for my disposition. Arborea, though. The mountains are taller, the air cleaner, the rivers purer, and the game larger than anywhere else. It's a true paradise, a place where passions run high and the wine never ceases to flow. When I've recovered enough of my wits and myself, when we have done with the outer plane, when we are done with the outer planes, you should ask me about the inner, and I will describe my journey to you. I will return to Arborea's bowers and glades and lose myself for a time. It was the lower planes next. Like the upper planes, the lower planes divide into lawful, chaotic, and neutral. Each of them varies in terms of horrors and what these horrors do to a traveller's spirit, and all of them are best avoided. I'd like to hear of the neutral planes, please. Neutral planes, eh? Well, they're vile and barely understandable, and they're none more insidious on their own than you could ever imagine. Take Gehenna, for example. 4 volcanoes in stages of dormancy floating in an infinite void, each of them somehow alive, and each of them wanting your soul by whatever means they can get it. Populated with Yugoloths, the worst of the fiends, and in my opinion you've got the place. Plane of ultimate evil, at least that's what they call it, is a grey waste. A new place that drains colour from your body and spirit, stealing away even your apathy, and that's the site of the worst battlegrounds in the war down there. Don't get me started. And then you got Carcerai on the chaotic side. Tell me about the Great War. The Blood War. At the name, your blood feels as if it freezes in your veins. Illborn doesn't seem to notice, wrapped up as easy as memories. 2 armies of fiends smashing together pointlessly across the lower plains, slaughtering mindlessly in the name of law and chaos. They'll aggrandise it, of course, but in the end it's all about hate and stupid endeavour that aids none and harms far too many. Can you tell me about Carcerai? Carcerai and its poisonous jungles, acid swamps, destructive waters, strung like a string of rotten pearls nestled within one another. He pauses and looks at you carefully, again fixing you in place with his eyes. Remember this, Seeker. Carcerai is a prison, home to the Geraliths, one of the most dangerous types of fiends there is. The strength of the prison is the strength of the captor, as strong as the prisoner lets it be. Destroy the prison keeper, and a body can escape the red prison. There is almost no other way out, not when the gates close themselves against you, and watch you spin off into the vast space surrounding the orbs. Be wary of Carcerai, traveller, for its bonds can be greater than flesh.
Updated my journal.
I think that's about it, I think. We've done the upper, we've done the lower Outlands. The Outlands are absolute neutrality, probably the best place for a body to visit in the outer planes, outside Sigil, if you don't want to have a plane's morality forced into your heart. Everything balances out in the Outlands, as it should be, for the plane that sits in the centre of the outer planes. Power's realms are scattered throughout here, and there are a handful of gate towns open into the rest of the outer planes. The gate towns usually mirror the philosophy of the plane their gate opens onto, and if the balance of belief isn't kept in the town slips into a nearby plane. It's a bad situation for everyone, because a few of the folks in the towns really want that change. But enough of the Outlands. What would you like to know? Other questions, please? I'm looking for a journal I have lost. I've seen no journals lately but my own, and that has crumpled away to nothingness. Do you know Farod? Farod grew up to be a collector. How long ago was this? When I was sent out last, he was but an effacious stripling in one of the upper wards. Time does change some people. No, I don't know Farod anymore, I'm willing to bet. And do you know about this place? Unless the cosmos has shifted or you've been spun into the mazes, I would say we're in the Smouldering Corpse Tavern. Mazes? Ah, in the mazes, where the lady dumps those who displeased her. He makes a small semicircle of his heart as he speaks the lady's name. If you know more of the lady in the city, find a tout or some such guide. Very well, thank you for your time. Eb Creekneys. He's the next one I want to chat to. You see a slightly stooped old man with a full grey beard and a lion's mane of grey hair. He wears a couple of shoulder guards as armour and keeps his helmet nearby. He smokes a pipe and carries a pouch of tobacco around his waist. He looks pretty strong, but he's a little plump and also appears to have some sort of breathing trouble. Well now, aren't you a sight, lad? Never have I seen so many scars blanketing the fella. Like a scar cloak you're wearing. Where you been hanging out in a grain thresher? He laughs. I'm just jesting with you. No offence. I'm Eb. Greetings, Eb. His handshake is firm. Now I hereby tender my apologies for the unfair jesting. Hope no hard feelings. Can I buy you a tankard? Why not? That's the spirit, lad. Bide a moment. He rises to his feet and heads to the bar. After a moment, he returns to his seat with a pair of tankards. Here you go, lad. Drink up. He takes a massive swallow from his own tankard and puffs on his pipe and says, "What can old Eb do for you in this fine sickle, eh?" Who are you? What are you doing? I already know who he is. What am I doing? Peculiar question, lad. What does it look like I'm doing? I'm whittling away my time among pleasant surroundings, nursing a tankard of ale, set with a nice pouch of pipeweed and an interesting company. Perfect way to spend one's day, I think, eh? Eh? Eh, indeed. Do you know somebody named Farrod? I'm looking for them. Farrod? Eb frowns, taking a pipe from his mouth. Now, lad, what would you want to do with a Burke like Farrod? I think he stole some of my belongings. Oh, no doubt, lad, no doubt. Eb grumbles, chewing on his pipe. You have to chin up everything around that grasping little spider. He should have been one of the fated the way he keeps nothing chained down, slips into his parlour. Don't give him a yard or he'll take a league, eh? What do you know about him? Well, now, I don't know everything there is to know about old Farrod, but I know some of the dark surrounding him. If you're determined to track him down and nail him to a wall, then I suppose I could spill some of the chant on what so you know what you're dealing with. He pauses to tap his tight pipe. Farrod dug his nest deep into Ragpicker's Square not too long ago. Got a bunch of collectors and gangs together and started that one that could almost consider collecting a faction. Be that as it may. Do you know where I can? Well, lad, if you're looking for Farrod, which I would say is pretty balmy of you, you're a little off the beaten path. You want to be in Ragpicker's Square. Chant is that Farrod set up his kip somewhere in the square. Even an old fellow like me, who's been around the ring a few times, don't know exactly where. I figure that Farrod wants to keep the dark and his location dark. If you're all bound and determined to find Farrod, go to Ragpicker's Square and try and dig up Farrod's location from some of the locals. Try and be careful about it, since there's plenty in the square which would make a gut harp out of you as soon as they look at you. Thank you for your time. There's only 2 more people I haven't seen here, and then I will end this video. First one, dak'kon over here. The man before you is old. His dry yellow skin has the scars of one who's travelled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic and a strange shimmering blade strapped across his back. The blade looks like a 2-pronged glaive made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. Are you alright?
Hail, traveler.
Hail?
Your eyes have the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
You could say that. The man's gaze does not waver from yours. I am known as dak'kon. The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time. You are not known to me. And you are not known to me. We are beneath the same sky in this matter, then. dak'kon is silent for a moment, still studying with his coal black eyes. The planes number many infinities, yet you are here. I would know why you've come to this city. I am looking for answers. Speak your questions, I will hear you. Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you? A Githzerai. What's a Githzerai? One of the people. One of the people? A Githzerai. Yeah, thanks for the explanation. That clears up a lot. You seem to have a special emphasis on knowing. All things, whether structure or flesh, their existence is defined by their knowing of themselves. And if a man does not know himself, when a mind does not know itself, it is flawed. When a mind is flawed, the man is flawed. When a man is flawed, that which he touches is flawed. Dak'kon pauses. It is said that what is a flawed man sees, his hands make broken. Do you know yourself? Dak'kon falls silent. His callback eyes take on the same distance you noticed when he first spoke. Never mind. What's that blade you have? It is a Karak blade, an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. It's made out of a strange metal, almost hypnotic in the way it shifts back and forth. Dak'kon falls silent for a moment as it's searching for the correct words. In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter. The people may shape it with their thoughts. You mean what, move it? Karak is not only shaped by heat, but by knowing oneself. It is a mirror that reflects the will of the wielder on its surface and its edge. When one knows themselves, the blade is strong, harder and stronger than steel. When one does not know themselves, the blade is as water, formless and weak. And what rank does it signify? The blade is a symbol carried by the Zerth. A Zerth is one who knows the words of Zerthimon. In knowing the words of Zerthimon, they know themselves. Zerthimon founded our race. He knew the Githzerai before they knew themselves. He defined the people. He gave them one mind. Do you know of a man named Farod? That one is not known to me. And then there's nothing else to be said. Thank you for your time. As you turn to leave, the man speaks sharply. The first time you've heard his tone change since the conversation began. Hold, the man's voice levels out. This city is not known to you. I would travel your path with you. I accept. An extra blade would be welcome.
Your path is mine.
We have dak'kon. He is a fighter mage. And lastly we have O over here. You see a man standing stock still. He isn't moving a muscle. On closer examination it appears he isn't even breathing, just standing. His eye sockets are empty holes in his face. Contained within their bounds is a flat grey light that seems to dance with possibility. Looking into the sockets, the eerie, empty feeling of a limitless void shivers through you, as if you had gazed a sliver of eternity. The head slowly swivels towards you. You notice no muscles appear to move under his skin as he turns, and he speaks in a pure, bell-like tone. Well met, wanderer. You have forgotten again, haven't you? Do you know me, stranger? As he opens his mouth, you get the feeling of eternity again. Inside his mouth you see no tongue, no teeth. It's almost as if his man were a shell surrounding an illimitable expanse. I have spoken with you before, and always you forget. Your endless quest to discover yourself ends always in your amnesia. You draw close to the truth and recoil. Let us hope that you have the strength to endure your existence. What do you know of me? I know that you, like a fly, rise up from the wreckage of your old shell, buzz about for a time, and then curl up and die at the window of truth. You bumble about the pain, seeking the light without any plan to your actions, and fall exhausted when you fail. You are light on others to feed from them from a time, and move on with no regard to them. I have watched you come here and listen to your words, and watched you move away no wiser. Will you learn from your mistakes, Seeker? Who are you? I am O. For some reason, when he speaks his name, it sounds like he's speaking of much more than a single letter, as if the meaning of his name contained untold possibilities and nuances. No human tongue could ever create such a sound. And what are you? It is my name. It is the name of a portion of eternity. I am a letter in the divine alphabet. Understanding me leads to understanding existence. I am writ in the true names of half of everything. My being encompasses truth. I am mathematic, organic, metaphysic. And what does that mean? The divine alphabet is writ in the name of everything that exists, from the seed at the heart of the elemental planes to the core of the great beyond. My brothers, sisters, a single word translates into the two in your mind, and I reach across all that is, was, or ever shall be. We are thought and reality and concept and the unimaginable. And so what are you doing here? Why, I am watching the ebb and flow of mortality. And what do you see? You mortals are like wasps. You build your lives' nests from the slimmest of branches, and when the wind shakes your home life free, you seek to sting the wind to death, instead of realizing your foolish mistakes, attempting to repair the damage you have caused yourselves, and learning from your experience. You bring harm to any who have the misfortune to blunder near you in your time of pain and distress. My advice to you, and to all mortals, stop acting like an insect, and start acting sentient. I'm looking for my journal. It is urgent. Do you know where it might be? I know where you can find it, but it is not my place to reveal such information. Rest assured, you will find it, as well as the man you seek. Do you know where Farod is? No, what do you know of that? I know that your journey takes you far beyond your journal quest, to the very edges of existence. You will struggle for your life and your very spirit, and I do not tell you any more regarding this. You must know the secrets of existence. I know parts of many of them. Without a connection to my brother sisters, I am but a letter. Alone, I am a symbol. Combined, we are language and power. So you don't know the secrets of existence? I did not say that. A letter is still a powerful force, even on its own. Allow me to show you. He opens his mouth wider, and wider still. The mask of his face tears around his eyes, mouth and nose, revealing a hint of eternity you glimpsed earlier. You are lost in it, adrift in it, a part of it. You return to your mundane senses and realize that O has vanished. Yet somehow your horizons have expanded. Enlightenment has brushed you, however briefly, across the brow. Wisdom has increased.
Done.
And finally, that looks like it really hurts. Yeah, it probably does. Ignis. This crackling, billowing creature twists slowly above the iron grill on the upper floor of the bar. It may have once been human, but now its skin is charred beyond recognition. Streams of fire form a wreath around the creature's body, and the flames lick the few remaining pockets of flesh, causing them to bubble and run like wax down the creature's skeletal frame. Examine the corpse. The heat surrounding this creature is incredible. To your surprise, the iron grill the creature floats above has sagged and bent from the heat. At first you thought the heat came from the grill, but now you realise it emanates from the creature. As you watch, flecks of ash drift from the writhing corpse and float slowly to the ceiling. Hello? The thing makes no response. It rises slowly within the flames. It lives, but it doesn't seem aware of anything other than the fire that surrounds it. Its skin, its flame, its heart. Its skin is flame, its heart is flame. And you know within some shadowed corner of your memory that the thing is dangerous. I should leave it alone. And leave the bar. There you are. I can recruit him later. Ignis is actually a companion you can get, but there's a certain item you need to acquire to get it. She just kind of gives you a little bit of information on the bar. I shall leave it here though. We have encountered the Smouldering Corpse Bar, and the Dustmen Bar. We have recruited dak'kon over here. We have a quest to go and kill 3 of the mad dogs barking. And we know that in order to find Farod, we need to go north and west to Ragpicker's Square. So, in the next episode, I will be heading off that way. I'll probably do a little bit of murder around here because there's various guys you can just kill outside, thugs and stuff that will try and attack you. And do that off screen just to get a little bit of experience. It's going to be boring just watching me killing people all the time. And then, yeah, we'll probably head off up that way because I don't think... I'm trying to remember when there is actually a marketplace. And Ben the Sender wants us to go and find the marketplace. I can't remember where it is. It's been like 20 years probably since I played this last.
Time is precious. Let us not squander it here.
Okay, in which case I'll also pause the game. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure where it is, but I think it's west from the Dustman area. So I'll go there next time. But until then, thank you all for watching. This was the bar crawl, as I'm calling it. And yeah, I'll see you next time. So thanks again, and good night.